Hey guys, Bryson here, and welcome to my show. And today, we're going to take a look at millennial money on a couple living on $87,000 in Toronto, Canada. Now, I don't really know much about Canada, but I do know a little bit about money. And we're going to find out exactly if this couple right here is overspending or underspending and exactly what is going on. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, guys, I post on the channel every single day, so make sure to also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified. And on top of that, also destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now, without further ado, let's find out exactly what an $87,000 salary gets you in Toronto, Canada. Okay, let's find out.
I think that being financially compatible doesn't even necessarily mean that you have the same financial goals or background, but it just means that you have the same comfortability with being open and actually talking about it and future.
I actually agree with that, okay? When you're in a couple with someone, it's very difficult to grow as a couple and also as individuals if one person is not on the same page as you. You kind of have to have like separate goals to understand that, but you also have to have like goals that you guys have to come together to actually achieve also. Very hard to be a saver and an investor when your partner is also just a spender and spends every single dollar. Very hard stuff.
Future goals as well.
By the way, I think I've actually seen YouTube videos with these guys right here, which is actually pretty cool. I think they're actually YouTubers. I can talk about like financial minimalism and stuff like that on YouTube. I think I've actually seen some videos like this before of these people right here. Yeah.
I'm Dennis and I'm 24 years old and I make $58,000 Canadian a year.
$42,000. He's 24 years old. That's awesome. That's a great salary.
My name's Steph. I just turned 24 years old and I make $60,000 Canadian a year.
44,000 a year. Okay, so they make around like the same amount of money every single year. They're also 24 also, so it's a pretty good couple, pretty solid. I wonder how they actually spend their money individually and also together. Let's find out on what their goals actually are. But pretty solid so far.
I work as a strategy and operations coordinator within a human capital team at a Big Four firm.
And I'm a consultant at a Big Four firm and I primarily work on, financial projects.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So like one is like in the financial project sector, another one is like in another sector. I never really heard about those jobs before, honestly. Like this might be like a Canadian thing, but I never really heard like these exact jobs before, like in the US at least, like with the exact same titles. Never really heard about it.
Given that we, work for companies that are external facing and rely on a lot of clients in order to make money, things.
Okay, so it's kind of like sales, but in a way like also like consulting those people and maintaining them. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting.
Got kind of uneasy as soon as COVID hit because, usually during these times, a lot of companies are trying to hoard cash and they're not really trying to spend money on consultants, right?
Yeah, okay, so now I kind of get it, okay? So it's consulting, helping businesses and stuff like that with finances and projects. I understand. Now, everyone here is on the same page, okay? But let's find out. And yeah, obviously, the entire thing happened. So now businesses are trying to like hold on to money here and there. But also right now, a lot of companies are actually making a lot more money, which is actually pretty cool.
So for us, job security was definitely a big thing that we were worried about and, we're still worried about right now. But I think as time progresses and as our...
Yeah, that's why if they're 24 years old and if they're on the same page, they should be on the same page. Like, hey, let's invest like rapidly. Invest rapidly and get to financial freedom as fast as possible. And that way, we don't have to worry about like, hey, what's going to happen in the future? You know what I mean?
I didn't really have an emergency fund.
Okay, so right here. All right, so every $1 in Canadian is around 73 cents in US. Just so you guys understand this exactly.
Or an emergency fund that had really anticipated a climate like this. A lot of the money that I was pushing towards my student loans, I've sort of been able to dial that back and actually put that into savings just in case.
All right, so here's the entire thing, guys, okay? And by the way, you should always have an emergency account, okay, of at least 3 to 6 months, okay? Pause everything until you actually get that, okay? Emergencies are very, very important, okay? Because if you don't have an emergency account, if anything does happen, then you're kind of out of luck. Rent is around $1,300 for 2 people, so they probably split it. But the idea is that I don't know if that's expensive or like inexpensive like in Toronto. I don't really know the property prices over there or the rent either, but let's keep watching here. They save around $1,300. That's actually pretty cool. Like around like almost like 1/3 of their income. Well, not really, like maybe like 22%, maybe like 20% actually. Debt repayment, $958. That mostly goes to student loans like they said before. Food $4.79 for 2 people, not that bad at all. Transportation $148, you can't help that. Utilities and Wi-Fi, I understand. Phone bill $105 for 2 people, pretty good. Health insurance, can't avoid it. Subscription $60, and renters insurance $17. So far, this budget isn't really that bad whatsoever. The only thing is probably like the rent. The rent is so massive, okay? So massive.
In case anything happens. So when it comes to budgeting, every month we look at our transactions and we see where we were spending in each category. But we try to make sure that we know where every single dollar is going.
Okay, so check this out, guys, okay? This is July. And this is how they're actually budgeting their money now today. And also, the rent is still the same. Savings actually went up. And food is also went up because, again, you know, people are at home. I understand that also. You spend more money here and there. Utilities, okay, so basically, they made some cuts, and it's actually pretty cool. But the whole idea is that, okay, once you hit that like 3 months or 6 months worth of expenses, just stop right there, okay? Then focus on paying back your debts and also focus on investing. Some people like to pay off their debts first and then focus on investing. You can do it if you want to, but I like to do both. But the answer is, okay, you probably saved up enough money. Now it's time to go ahead and start paying back that debt that you actually have.
And we usually use the Mint app.
Wow, they live in a 1-bedroom apartment and pay $1,300. And by the utilities, I can see like, hey, it's one of those expensive apartments. So obviously they're paying a premium, okay? They're paying a massive premium. But again, it's not really that much of their income, so I don't really judge it. However, it is still a lot of money, okay? So it is money that could be going towards investing or paying back your debt. So it all depends what you want to do. But a 1-bedroom apartment for $1,300, pretty expensive. And split 1,300 between 2 people. So in reality, divided by 2, that's around what, like 500 plus 150. That's around like 650 each. So that way, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because each person's paying for it, but as a unit together, it's still a lot of money.
We do live in a pretty small space for downtown Toronto. It's 400 square foot, if that. I think.
Oh my gosh, 400 square foot. Oh my gosh, that is pretty small. The kitchen and the living room are right in the same place. It's insane.
It's pushing it. They call it a 1-bedroom, but it's more of a bachelor style space. We've been living together for 2 years now, and we're planning to continue that.
I like that. Okay, I like that.
But we don't personally feel the need to have any sort of joint accounts. So we have completely separate accounts. We split all of our expenses right down the middle.
Yeah, I agree. And something is this, okay? Whenever you guys do get married, one thing I would do is basically like have like a joint account, but only for the expenses you guys actually share. So for example, you have the rent, subscriptions, and all that stuff in that account right there, and you guys fund it, but everything else stays separate. That way you have like your own financial identity, but then you also have something you guys actually come together for what you actually pay for together as a team, okay? So that's a good idea. I like it.
It's just what works best for us. It works for our budgets, that we can really plan it out.
Student loans, okay? By the way, student loans are usually an investment. And although, for example, the rates are usually low, in reality, with investments the way they are now, plus student loan debt, the answer is like the average return plus like the average interest rate on student loans is honestly like almost the same. So you might just want to pay it off.
So I think one of the huge misconceptions about school in Canada is that schooling is free. Well, guess what? It is not free.
I always hear that. Honestly, like I've always heard that from my friends. You know what? Oh, like college in Canada is so much cheaper than the US. Health insurance is so much cheaper, but I want to find out more. They graduated with $30,000 in student loan debt. Well, Den, just the guy, $30K in student loan debt. That's a lot. Den goal is to pay down his debt within 2 years. So that's like $15K on average. You make like $40K. That's actually very doable. Very doable, honestly. It's very doable.
And after 11 months, I'd already paid down over half of the amount. So on
half of the amount in 11 months. And he's also reading The Intelligent Investor, and she's also reading White Fragility. I've actually heard about that book, and it's on Amazon. It's about like, you know, like I don't even know what it's about, but I need to research it a little bit more and actually read it and take a look at it. But it's interesting, okay? Usually I don't dive into those topics, but I'll give this one a try and see exactly what it's all about.
Typical month, I actually throw close to 50% of my income towards my debt. So I've actually been able to dial that back and throw that money into savings.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But the answer is, you know, then like as soon as you have like the emergency fund, just focus on paying off that debt. Because if you have 6 months worth, if you have, for example, a good degree, you have good job prospects, you're not going to go out of a job for like 6 months, okay? So you have 6 months worth, just stop and focus on that debt and pay it off, and then focus only on investing from then on.
Just because they put a halt on, having to pay back your debt up until I think September of this year.
It's so weird, right? Like, people stop paying their debts when the interest rate is like at 0, but they want to pay it back when the interest rate is high. It's so strange. I don't understand it. It's like backwards. Like the US, Canada has paused federal student loan payments and waived interest until September. Yeah, I think by September my student loan debt is gonna be fully paid off. I roll like around like 20K, and then from then on I just focus basically just on investing. And whatever you focus on, that's what you actually expand on, okay?
And it's nice being with Dennis because then I can start working on our savings, and in the future when we start investing together,
that is awesome. Okay, this couple is actually pretty cool, and they also have a financial channel on YouTube, I think, right, about minimalism. So if that keeps you on, they'll also make some income from that also, and that's pretty cool. Food. Yeah, people spend a lot of money on food, especially now during the whole thing that happened. Everyone is spending a lot more money on food, especially with delivery and stuff like that. But just stay strong. Stay strong. They're spending $516 on food a month. That's actually a lot of money.
Because of the pandemic, we're actually going to one of the more expensive grocery stores near us. Definitely something that we're choosing to do. It's not a necessity, but it's cleaner. There's more measures in place.
Yeah. Health comes first. And if you have to pay a premium on the food you're actually getting, but it's good food, organic food, then definitely I'm all the way for it, okay? And yeah, I understand this 100%.
That the hours are a little bit better. It's easier for us to go there right now. So our budget.
Wow, look at this grocery list right here. Bananas. It's like are they like vegan or something? Are they vegan? I don't see any meat here. That's not a bad thing, but it's I think they're vegan.
It's gone up by maybe $50 to $75 a month for each of us.
If they are vegan, I just don't understand exactly like how vegan food is very expensive, but how do you spend $500? It's a lot of money.
Together, we eat together, but when it comes to paying, what you can do here is you can actually ask the cashier to split it right down the middle. And
that's usually not fair, but in this case it is fair. Let me explain, guys, okay? When you have, for example, your partner with someone, like you guys together, you're a couple, and say, for example, one person makes like 50K, another person makes like 100K. In reality, you can't split everything down the middle. You have to split it based on the income, okay? Because basically, it's offsetted, okay? It's not fair to the person because basically, they're spending a larger part of their income on that part of the food, while you're not, because basically, you spend a lot more money. So in reality, I wouldn't split it down the middle, but in this case, because they do make the same amount of money, it actually makes no difference. So I do understand why splitting it down the middle actually makes sense in this situation, not in every single one.
Although I grew up here, I was actually born in Kenya, and my family moved to Canada when I was really, really young.
I have a few friends that are from Kenya. They're pretty cool.
And when it came to money, they had a tough time adjusting to the system here.
Yeah, man. Like my parents are also like from third world countries, and either like they come to be like spenders, like very high spenders, or usually like very crazy like savers, okay, because they hoard all the money. But you rarely ever see them actually become like crazy investors. It's very rare because they don't really understand that and how that works, okay? But it's usually like spenders or hoarders.
And although I didn't know much about money when I was younger, I knew that we didn't have a lot of money, but I also associated money with change, and I also associated money with a better future and a better life for your family.
That is an awesome way to see money, because some people see it as like, hey, money's bad, money's evil. It's not.
My dad's always been an accountant for as long as I've been alive, so obviously he understands a lot about money.
I'm an accountant also, and let me tell you something, right? Not every single accountant understands money, because at the end of the day, accountants are just basically recorders of transactions that happen into a business, and then they illustrate it into a normal language and translate it over to the business like CEO or whatever it is. That's all it really is, okay? But a lot of accountants that I know have terrible money management. It has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all.
My parents were debt-free even on their house as soon as they possibly could be. So that was something that was really driven into me. My first job when I was 14, again, I didn't even see half of my paycheck. It went right into my savings that I used when I went to school.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And she actually used that savings to actually go to school. That's pretty cool.
We had a lot of similar coworkers at work that we talked to about, and we actually talked about salary for the first time, which is a huge topic, salary transparency. I worked in HR, him and one of our friends worked in finance, and they made more.
You know, when I used to work at this business, right, the whole idea is they don't want you to know exactly who makes what, how much money. Okay, the idea is you should share your salary with your friends and stuff like that work with you. That way you have like salary transparency if you want to. But the idea is, you know, the company doesn't want you to do that, because then you can find out like, hey, why is he getting paid for the same job $5,000 more than I get paid? So be transparent, and that way you can actually ask for a raise.
So because Den and I live together, a lot of our fixed expenses are the same and we split them down the middle. One place that we definitely differ is my coffee budget. I used to spend a lot more before I started budgeting on coffee, as I
Okay, so this is the splurge section where they actually spend money to actually splurge on stuff, okay? Let's see.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Before the pandemic, Steph used to spend $37 a month on coffee. That's an average of around $1, maybe like on 30 cents every single day on coffee, because people actually drink coffee every single day. I don't get why, but they do. But you know, $37 is better than $5 a day on Starbucks, right? So let's find out.
During the pandemic, I luckily haven't been spending any. We make all of our coffee at home, but I'm sure it's a habit that will probably come back.
So for me, I refuse
Oh, okay, cool. Now she's spending it at home.
to spend money on new clothes, I refuse to spend money on coffee, and I refuse to spend money on a car.
Oh, he's a little bit like me, okay? I do not like spending money on clothes or like cars or anything like that. I can't stand it, because this is like depreciation, you know? Not even depreciation, like some things are just like trash. Like clothes are trash. Like what are you gonna do? Sell them? Like unless like you have like collector items, but you know, usually it's trash.
Before we get started,
Destroy the like button. So we actually started our YouTube channel.
Yeah, look at that, like 3,000 subscribers. I think they're like 100K now, because they have like a lot of followers. They're pretty cool.
I saw a gap in the knowledge when it came to money and, you know, sort of finances here in Canada.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. It's all about like finding a gap in the market and filling it. In Canada, if you see a gap, then help out people there, you know? That's awesome. I like that.
I think a lot of the information that we see online is very United States focused, and
That is very true. Yeah, that is very true. I would like to see a lot of creators like come from, like, for example, from Africa, like from Europe and like the Caribbean, another country, because basically all of my information comes from like America and like American focus. So I want to see like more information from like everywhere. That's what I really want to see.
And when it comes to a lot of the stuff that we talk about, careers as well, there's not a lot of people who look like me, who are black, that work for a big four firm, that are, you know,
Oh, he's saying big four firm, maybe like the top four or something like that. Is that what he means by that?
showcasing, you know, the life and how to get in and how to sort of navigate this whole corporate space as a black person.
As of July 2020, it doesn't generate any revenue. I think they actually do generate revenue. I'm not sure.
we want to help young people like us. We want to help people who look like us, who don't look like us. Overall, just understand their finances.
Okay, guys, so overall, I'm going to cut this video short because basically I think we have like a main focus here. I think the idea here is that basically Steph is more like a saver, and then Dan is like more of a saver and also a debt repair, and then Dan is actually in a way becoming more like Steph, and he's actually even learning more about investing by the book I did see him reading. But overall, I think this couple is actually pretty good, and it's probably going to be going on to success, honestly. And by the way, let's just quickly take a look at their YouTube channel that they actually have, and it says Steph and Dan. Okay, let's see right here. And they actually have around, oh yeah, so they have around like 9,000 subscribers right now. But as they keep posting videos, like they will continue to grow. Okay, so overall, the key is just keep posting, keep making content, and eventually they will start making income from this, and then boom, before you know it, they will start making money. But the key is you gotta keep posting videos, okay? But overall, guys, that's about it for this video. I actually like this couple. I like their budget. I hope to God like Dan like keeps like paying off his debts a lot faster and just save for the emergency fund. And then Steph is just like, you know, like keep saving, yeah, but also invest. Focus on investing. Investing is key also. But I'm pretty sure we didn't get the full picture from this one video here, but I'm gonna keep up to date with their channel also. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, like this video and also hit the bell to stay notified every time I upload a video, and on top of that, also destroy the follow button on my Instagram at Tommy Bryson. As always, if you want to see another video, guys, basically about investing and basically how to create a budget, I actually helped a friend on this channel about that. We'll watch the video right here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.